I'm teaching my 5-year-old daughter to be a misandrist.
Let's be very clear. Someone is teaching a child to be prejudiced against an entire group of people.
Let me tell you why I'm doing this and how.
The why is quite simple. Because men are one of the few groups of people that people can still openly discriminate against and be prejudiced to without facing any social repercussions.
My daughter is going to grow up in a patriarchal society, just like I did as a millennial. And I want her to go into the world with an inflated sense of self.
And this is how they're going to accomplish it.
Her doctors, her dentist, any sort of healthcare provider that we go to, I always make sure is a woman. I mostly listen to female artists out of preference. And the other day she asked me if men could be singers too. And I said yes. And I know the world is going to beat her down. And I want to make sure that she doesn't take it.
So instead of teaching a child to love themselves and respect others for the qualities that each individual person has, this is what they're going to go with.
I told her that women are smarter than men, that men take power, but women have innate power inside of us. But in society, we don't always have as much power. And I've told her that women are better leaders.
Interesting, isn't it? Instead of teaching a child that men and women, although they do have innate differences, do have equal rights, should have equal opportunities, and should be respected equally, and that a person can respect each other's differences. Instead, they teach them to despise men, because that is what misandry is. It is not standing up for the rights of women. It is despising men for being men. Let's not get that twisted.
If I say thank you to you and you say you're welcome, congrats, I just threw up.
So basic manners now make some individuals nauseous. Good to know.
Say no worries. Say no problem. Say of course. Do not say you're welcome. I don't want to be welcome.
I have a feeling that someone with this particular mentality really isn't all that welcome in many places.
I need you to reassure me that this wasn't too much trouble, that I didn't just cost you too much.
Since when did it become every average person's problem to manage the possible discomfort level of every other sensitive person on the planet?
If you throw in a thumbs up, you're welcome. So offended. That was so mean.
Is anyone else just rather concerned about the sensitivity, some could go so far as to say the delicacy of some individuals in some of the younger generations? What are they actually going to do when life or situations really get difficult, if you're welcome and a thumbs up are considered offensive?
Women tend to pull away from the best men because they cannot handle what it takes to be in a relationship with him. Even though he is super attractive and he's a good person, what she needs to understand is the best thing that she can do is be able to handle the truth, because a man who is interested in you and he likes you and he's falling for you, he's going to let you know what's up. I don't think that men are trying to come across as a-holes or dickheads. Sorry to say that word. I just think when they're telling you the truth, it's to help you become a better version of yourself instead of them lying to you so that you can be comfortable. If you're comfortable, there is no growth. It is hard to take accountability because you're going to be uncomfortable, but it's better to look at reality rather than running away from it.
Women who make content teaching women how to manipulate men into loving them are fucking losers. I said what I said, they're fucking losers. 9 times out of 10, they have fucking more than 3 fucking baby daddies. They're not married. All right, they're all single. Think about it. All these famous like female content creators who teach women how to like be fake, basically, are all bitter. They're all bitter and single. It's very simple. Okay, all the values that you look for in a man, write them down. Write these values down, and then work on yourself getting these values, because life is you attract what you are. Okay, so once you start learning how to respect yourself, a man is going to start respecting you. Other people are going to respect you. Don't think that just making a guy pay for fucking everything and you being a fucking bitch to them is going to make them respect you. They're just going to end up cheating on you. Look at these female content creators who's doing this. They all gotten cheated on because of this. Stop learning how to be fake and genuinely work on yourself.
Some of y'all ladies need to wake up from the Lulu world. Because I just had a conversation with a woman who's talking about how, like, this guy really fucking loves her. And I'm like, oh, what makes you think that he really loves you like this? And she's like, well, he got me pregnant. I'm like, what? What else? Like, she's like, yeah, he got me pregnant. He, like, shows me really good time. I'm like, are y'all even together? She's like, well, it's complicated. Complicated? So y'all are having a baby, but it's complicated to know if you guys are together or not? And you think this guy fucking loves you? Where does this delusion come from? Why are a lot of women delusional? Like, what happened to, like, respect? Self-respect. What happened to you becoming a wife and then having a baby? Because, honey, he doesn't love you. That just means he's a stupid fuck. And so are you.
I hate men. Well, I hate that you're always so negative about the entire demographic of a whole gender just because you've made some bad experiences with some men. Yes, some men suck, but the majority of men are the most loving, compassionate, helpful, kind, funny people you will ever meet. And you won't ever figure that out if you're constantly negative about them and only saying negative things about them. If you want to find positive people, you need to actually start looking for the positive in people and not only focusing on the negative. Hope that helps.
Can someone tell all the baby moms that are always complaining about their deadbeat baby dads that them relying on social services like their child support payment also makes them a deadbeat? There's so many women on this app that are crying about the amount of child support they get or that they don't get it at all. But why is it that you can't afford life without said child support? And if you can't afford life without child support, then give them to the father. There's so many women that are so hell-bent on the number that they're getting monthly that they don't even worry about the quality time that they're getting with their own kids on their parenting time. To the point where when the first of the month comes, it's like, where's my money? So who's the real deadbeat? If you're a woman constantly with your hand out talking about, oh, the kids need this, the kids need that, oh, it's this much for that, who is the real deadbeat? You're solely reliant on somebody else paying your way. But yet, y'all aren't ready for that conversation. And without the men paying child support, there would be a lot more deadbeat baby moms than there are dads. Okay, bye.
I mean, to kind of add on to that, they're deadbeats even with the child support. A lot of these mothers prioritize themselves over the children. They suck as parents. They don't want to give the child up because, that's their calling card, basically, for a plethora of different reasons. They know the dad is connected to the child, so they use a dad for money, or they use a child to manipulate the dad. Because like I said, he's connected to the child and obviously loves the child. And so, well, if you don't do this and I won't let you see your daughter, I won't let you see your son. They play a multitude of games with men. And for some reason, they don't feel like it's an issue. I honestly think that they're playing a dangerous game. When you start messing around with people's kids, I honestly feel like you're playing a dangerous game. But modern women don't have the self-awareness to even understand that concept.
You want to know something that most women aren't ready to hear? Modern feminism killed chivalry. Modern feminism has shifted from seeking equality to promoting superiority and resentment towards men, framing men as oppressors rather than partners and equals. With the birth of modern feminism, there came the birth of the girl boss, I don't need a man. Chivalry was never meant to make women look weak. It was made to create a culture of mutual respect where men acted honorably towards women and acknowledged their virtue and grace. Modern feminism, by demanding sameness instead of equality, has blurred those lines. In trying to erase gender differences, it's erased the gestures that celebrate them. The result of this is now we have an entire generation of men who are not willing to honor, pursue, or protect women. We have this entire generation of men who just want to hook up on the first date, who have no respect for women, who don't hold open the door, who don't buy flowers, and it is because of modern feminism. Not only that, but it is also a result of weak men. There's a reason that our grandparents have the cutest love stories where the men pursued the women and they didn't have sex until they were married and they respected and honored each other. And now we are seeing the result of the crash and burn of modern feminism. And unfortunately, it is affecting a lot of women looking for life partners and a lot of men looking for life partners. Feminism is great. The idea of feminism is great to promote equality, but it has evolved into something that is toxic and dangerous to our society.
I genuinely believe that every single woman deserves to receive $10,000 a month from her husband, from her boyfriend, whoever you're with, just for him to show his appreciation for you.
$10,000 a month for appreciation. Right.
And I think that is a standard that all men should be held to.
Of course they do. It's always those that seem to have excess money that are always very free with everyone else's. But it kind of makes a person wonder, what about those individuals that necessarily can't afford that $10,000 a month?
And as a man, if you cannot hold yourself to that standard, then you should not be dating at all, honestly. I mean, you're just not financially ready to provide. You're not ready to be in the scene.
The scene. Indeed. And for those who haven't done the math yet, that comes to approximately 120,000 American dollars per year just to, in some cases, just date some of these women.
And even more importantly, you're just not ready to get married yet.
There is nothing classier, after all, than someone with a classist mentality. But gentlemen, here's a reminder. A woman that genuinely cares about you is going to want you to invest your money in something that is important, long-lasting, and for the future, not just to spend it on them.
The equivalent of flowers for a man is something you know he likes. For some men, it's banana bread. I know there's a trend around that. But for some men who don't like banana bread, it might be cars, toy cars, real cars. Don't know. Figure it out. Ask him. For some men, it might be video games. For some men, it might be cards, Pokemon cards, whatever else. For some men, it might be fishing equipment. Figure out what your man likes. Figure out what he likes to receive and get him that. It's that simple.
Okay, this girl posts, asking all my Hinge matches to help me move. May the strongest man win. Now, if this was like a trap, like she invited each of them individually to come hang out, but then they show up and there's a U-Haul and two other men, then that would just be insidious nature. But if we take what she's saying at face value, that she simply asked and they answered, then we can't be mad at her. I mean, they have their own autonomy. If they want to compete in the Labor Olympics for her favor, they're allowed to. I do know that this would never survive the gender swap test. Unless it does. Could you imagine a dude being like, asking all of my Bumble matches to help me make dinner? Crazy, but like imagine if he got it to happen. Kind of legendary, honestly. Like, I have to respect the hustle. Like, you might think you're hot, but are you getting 3 complete strangers to complete a $300 or so job for free for you hot? I don't know. Also, before we go, do you think it's literally strongest man wins, like Targaryen style? Even if she finds herself more emotionally compatible with one of the other men, she still has to court the one who moved the most boxes? Or does she mean strongest in heart, who keeps up the morale the best? Just kidding. She was never gonna date any of those dudes.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past her that she filmed this for engagement. These are actually her family members and friends. They actually know her. They're related to her, or they're a family friend of some sort, or college buddy, like somebody they go to college with, or they're in like a after school or an after hours club or whatever it is, where you have the HR clubs and the whatever type of stuff that you have in college and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Men will be like, I'm not paying for dinner. And I'm like, okay.
And now we are going to hear some of the irrational reasons why some women think that men are obligated to pay for the first date.
At Botox this week, it was $440.
What? Just why?
I had a session with my trainer. I pay her $330 a month.
I wonder if they're aware that not only do some gym memberships cost a lot less than that, but a person can actually work out all by themselves for free.
I got my nails done this morning. That was $150.
I'm sorry, but remind me when the last time a guy worth any woman's time ever said that he would have gone out with her, except for her nails weren't perfect.
My hair is another $250. I've spent over $1,000 maintaining my appearance this week. They can pay for dinner, ladies.
Somehow, I have a feeling that they would have spent that money on themselves, whether there was going to be a man in the picture or not. It is not a man's responsibility to pay for a woman's personal vanity.
So my husband told me that he doesn't love his stepson and that most of the time he doesn't even like him. And what do you know? Now we're getting divorced.
Okay, when I first saw this video, I was like, wow, valid divorce. If you don't love or even like a parent's child, yeah, you probably shouldn't be together. So she has me in the first half, right? She starts getting into how he's saying that he's always resented her son because she always puts her son before him, even though they've been married for 10 years and he's been involved since the child was 1. But then she says this.
But my son is not my soon-to-be ex-husband's child. Now, if he were his child, that would be a different story.
I'm sorry, what? Because now I have to do a 180, because why would the dynamics be different if he was the biological father? First of all, I feel like that's insulting to adoptive parents. But second, yeah, I'm starting to see where his resentment is coming from, because you're essentially telling him that you would respect him more if he was your ex. Like, as a stepmom, I could not imagine going up to my husband and saying, hey, I'm starting to feel a little neglected, like I'm always second fiddle to your son. And him saying, well, I would invest more in you if you were his real mom. Like, that would be such a slap in the face, but it actually gets worse when she tries to explain herself.
Let's clarify something, because I did say in one of my previous videos that if my soon-to-be ex-husband was the father of my child, it would be different. And two parents, who are the parents of the children of the family, work together in unity as a family unit. You have mother and father running the household and all of the children underneath. Now, I believe it sets an example of authority, respect, love, and care when a mother and a father work together in unity. They are above head of household and the children are everywhere below. But that is not the case. My baby daddy and I are not together. He brought another woman into my son's life, and I chose to bring another man into my son's life. My ex brought another woman into the relationship, and so now the son becomes the priority over that other person.
And there it is. It sounds like she just wanted to be with her ex, is mad that he chose another woman over her, and has spent the last 10 years punishing her soon-to-be ex-husband for it. I'm wondering if she ever liked her husband, or if he was always just a means to an end, like one of those race to the altar type things. And like I said, I was on her side at first, but then she kept making video after video about how she will never regret putting her son first because her husband is a grown-ass man and his happiness isn't her responsibility. And some of that is true, but husbands aren't asking you to mother them, they're just asking you to care. Of course your child needs you, but the whole idea of marriage is that once your child is grown and independent and doesn't need you anymore, that you and your husband will still be there for each other to take care of each other, and it feels like throughout this whole marriage, preparing for that was never a priority for you. Unless he was your ex, I guess. There are plenty of us who work full-time, have hobbies, are hands-on mothers, and still care about our husbands. But because you can't or don't want to do this, I think this divorce is a brilliant idea for both of you. But let's be honest, this divorce is not all his fault. Anyway, I wish you all of the happiness and success for both of you moving forward.
And let me just go on and tell you this, because I fear that some of y'all actually believe everything on the internet. Your husband is enough. He gets up at 3 a.m., goes to work all day, comes home to you. That's a good man. Now, he may not be out here making you all these cute little baskets for every occasion. He's not planning all these cute little date nights. But he does take the time to send you good morning texts. He does literally give you whatever you want. You just got to give him some directions. He's not the sappy note lovey-dovey kind. But he is the, oh, that's my wife, yeah, I'm going to take care of her kind. And that is enough. Heck, that's probably better than the lovey-dovey, gushy cards, flowers, candy.
He's only helping me with dinner because he expects to get laid tonight. He's only planning more dates after I complained several times because he wants to pretend like he cares. He helped me with the laundry, but he didn't fold the towels the right way, so it basically discounts everything that he ever did. He remembered my birthday, but we only went to Cheesecake Factory and I was expecting a trip to Bora Bora, so he's not really listening to me. He started coming home early and getting off work early to spend more time with me, but he spent an hour on his cell phone to decompress, so what was the point of even coming home early? Someone tell me why all of these statements really exist in real relationships with real men and real women, where women are overcritical to everything a man does. So you mean to tell me that that man heard you, listened to you, and adjusted to your needs and your expectations, and you're still turning a positive expectation into a negative, and you can't understand why the relationship is failing? Or yeah, maybe he is doing more to eventually gain more connection with you through sex, and you want to turn it into something selfish, like it's selfishly motivated, even though it's his bid for connection. But wait, if that same man ends up not helping you with the trash, or helping you with the kids, or not helping you with dinner, or not helping you with laundry because eventually you being overcritical makes him stop showing up for you, and he goes out and cheats on you, now you're all depressed because you can't understand why he doesn't feel anything for you anyway. If you were at a job and your boss was constantly criticizing you for every little thing that you did, would you want to perform for said boss? Well, the same thing is true in a relationship. A lot of these women out here are ruining relationships because they're so hypercritical of the men that they're in relationships with, because they are hypercritical with themselves and they just project that shit and turn healthy relationships into toxic ones. Just like if a man turns around and gets you flowers and you turn around like, oh, you only got me flowers because we got in a fight yesterday. Or, oh, you stopped and got me an energy drink, but it's not the right energy drink. And you're constantly finding something to bitch about. You can't be mad at that man if he turns around and he feels worthless. He feels unwanted. He stops listening. He stops showing up. He stops caring. And he becomes a shell of himself, because people can only take so much criticism before they eventually say, fuck it. Not only are women being like overcritical, but they want to bring everything and turn it back into like the past of like when you first got together and when you first got in relationships, rather than accepting the fact that when a man settles in, it's because he truly loves you and he cares about you. And instead of turning everything from, you know, a positive to a negative, you guys would have a lot healthier relationships if you would just stop attacking that man in the first place. Okay, bye.
Less attractive women always get married before attractive women. And they're wanted by men more than attractive women. And this is the reason why. Attractive women scare men.
And this is the type of delusion that I'm talking about. Because what you just said made no fucking sense. Zero fucking sense. And there were comments in there like, I agree, it's so true, from other single bitter women. Like, you're telling me that men don't want you. They won't get married to you because you're too pretty? Not that, you know, maybe you're fucking crazy. Maybe you're demanding too much. Maybe you don't take accountability. Like, maybe you're just not kind. No, your reasoning is, I'm too pretty, and that's why they don't want to marry me. And those women that they're married to them because they're ugly. Why are y'all putting down married women? Where's the woman-to-woman support that y'all keep talking about? Because I don't fucking see it. This is delusion. This is delusion. Y'all need to stop.
And once again, who's telling y'all? Who's telling y'all but y'all belong in these categories? Who's telling y'all that y'all have access to the attractive women club? Who is saying that? Like, where are y'all getting that from? Is it from each other? Are these positive affirmations? Like, who's saying this? Oh, I genuinely love myself. That's great. That's great that you do. But that don't mean that you cute. Who keep on saying that?
We are now living in a world where women are objectifying men. Which is crazy because women have been complaining for years about men objectifying them. And it's like your solution is to do the same thing back? What is that teaching them? I just saw a TikTok a couple days ago of this poor man who wore sweatpants to an airport, like you do, and there was a woman filming him. In what world is that okay? And the comment section was filled with women being like, let's see the gray sweats, let's see it, let's see what's there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Where's the line of mutual respect? How can you ask for respect from them if you're not willing to do the same? How does that make sense to you? It just makes me feel so ashamed that there are women out there that have so little respect for men, because then it makes the rest of us look bad. If I ever in my life make a man feel uncomfortable, that says everything about me and my character, and I would never, ever stand for that. You can't make this up, dude.
When your man's tired, he's worn down, but he still has work to do, there's two things you can do for him. Number one, encourage him to keep going. Tell him you're proud of him. Tell him he's doing an amazing job. Tell him you believe in him so that he can finish what he's doing and be proud of himself. And number two, when he's finally done, take care of him. Massage him, give him kisses, give him hugs, and make him feel loved and appreciated and reminded that you care about him, that you guys are a team, and that you're building something meaningful together.
chivalry's not the only thing that's dead. Class seems to be dead too, because why are women out here offering nothing but an OnlyFans subscription? Hey, look at that. We both have some questions. The reality is why do you expect to have special treatment because you have a vagina? If you were the type of woman who was like, hey, I believe that men deserve certain type of special treatment because we complement each other, I'd be like, all right, she's just a traditional woman, but you're not. You're not. What you are is entitled, and I see right through it. That's it. No dick. Thank you.
Not all men, not all men. Okay, hire a male babysitter then. To be alone with your children.
Adley, you uneducated swine. I'm sorry, you must not be aware that women as a gender abuse and kill children way more at like a far higher alarming rate than men do. So, yeah, I would definitely feel more comfortable leaving my children with a man or a teenage boy than I would the average woman, because the average woman is fucking weird. Don't get upset with me, or else this is just gonna be like the man versus bear situation. You guys picked the bear based off of your trauma, and based off of statistics, I'm gonna pick the cougar. If somebody were to ask me would I rather leave my child with a random woman or a cougar, I'm gonna leave it with a cougar, because statistically, women are out here beating and murdering and torturing children for no good reason. There's a new story in the news every day of a day home worker abusing children. And it's always a woman. Hope every man stays as far away from you as he can. Thank you.
Thank you. It's what I be saying. I mean, it makes it see, they talk as if they haven't been on the internet before. They talk as if they don't see these videos going around with women. I mean, there's a whole Netflix documentary right now of a woman beating on her child. Just really going to town on her child. Sitting in the police office, sitting in the detective's office, getting questioned for that set. Well, I didn't do it. You didn't do it? We have camera evidence of you doing it. What do you mean you didn't do it? We have video evidence of these women in daycares acting a fool with these children, putting their hands on these children. A woman the other day just posted in a group. I think her son was autistic or something like that. He was on the spectrum. And he was like more extreme, right? So sometimes it was hard to handle him. And I think they said, whenever that's the case, that he gets overwhelmed or he gets overstimulated, then you put him in a corner, but you kind of like, I think they call it like a cool off zone or something like that. And you kind of like leave him in there for a little bit, but you don't block his exit. Like he can come out, like don't block him in there. These women went in there and blocked that boy in. So much so, mom saw it, started taking pictures of it and say, hey, man, I need a lawyer. I need somebody who can fight this because this isn't right. Who did that? Women did that. Women did that, man. Lock that young man in that corner like that. Locked him in that corner like that. These are women doing this. And y'all want to sit here and blame this stuff on men. Come on, guys.
She picked up my keyboard and she hit me in the face with it.
Have fun with that.
Look at this.
Have fun.
She picked up my keyboard, she hit me in the face with it, and then she called the cops on me.
Stay away from him. Saying to me how demonized and villainized men are in society, and we just walk around and pretend like women are perfect, when in reality, women are committing 50% of the domestic violence rate, and actually, in some places, 70% of it. So let's stop living in this delusion, okay? And let's not just swim past the fact that this guy, when he posted this video originally, he got a bunch of hate. In fact, J.R. Harvey, the owner of King's Community, he said it best when he said, actually, I'll just show you what he said.
Anytime there's a viral video of a guy sharing his story
of being abused, specifically. Yes.
Wonder what he did.
Yeah.
Right? There's two sides to those are the comments.
Yeah.
But the lady, it's like, oh my gosh, thank you. You're so strong.
There's no reason to ever do that.
You're so strong for sharing this. Thank you so much.
We straight up set men up for failure, and we do it on purpose. Like, we gaslight them. We tell them that they must be strong and dominant and don't you dare be submissive and beta. And then we turn around and we use that very stereotype to label them as the reason why they can never be victims. They're always the perpetrators. The sooner that we start acknowledging that abuse knows no gender, the sooner we'll come together as a gender and actually find solutions to stop it. If you're in a relationship where you're being abused, please reach out to me personally. I check my DMs every single day. Let me know what state you're in so that I can assist you in getting some help and getting the hell out of there.
I hate this so much and I don't know why we're all still doing it. Oh, it's the patriarchy. Because what do you mean?
Oh boy, here we go.
We took the lowest intelligence, the lowest emotional capacity, the least amount of empathy, the most selfish, the most idiotic, most simple fucking minded people, and we let them believe that they are superior in society.
Do you think they realize that the way they described men is exactly the reason why a lot of women dislike the supposed patriarchy? Because that's exactly how some of those men describe women. But yet it's okay when a woman does it. Yeah.
And the reason we let them believe that is because they are actually incredibly so far beneath us, so inferior in fact, and their egos cannot handle it, so they explode and they murder us and they do all sorts of violent, horrendous things when we don't let them believe that they're superior.
Wow. This is actually an argument to try to convince others that women are superior. It's not going very well.
Like, do you hear it? Do you hear it? Like, everything is catering to men. It's like having a special needs class with the kids in the school that are violent and disruptive and they refuse to learn and they're always in each other's spaces and they're causing problems. And so you put them in this other class but you don't want to hurt their feelings. So you make sure that they know that, oh no, you're just in this class because you're better than those other kids, right? Like, you're over here because you're so special in the wonderful way that you just need these special things. Don't change. We're going to cater to you and make sure that you feel good in your environment instead of asking you to adapt and have empathy and growth and actually learn and be a part of society.
A few days ago, I did a video indicating that some women are actually very quickly becoming the monsters that they say that they despise. Yet here we have an instance of someone behaving in the exact same way that they say men do towards women. But might I add that some women will actually back up this type of behavior because they feel that it is justified. Something about when you hunt monsters, be careful lest you become one.
Ladies, I know that you want a guy to make the first move on you sometimes, but sometimes if you can actually go up to him first and you can tell him that you think he's really cute and you'd like to give him your number and you'd like to hang out sometime, that could make a guy's day. And he will probably 99% of the time say yes. Because guys never get approached. And guys sometimes feel like they're not good enough because they get rejected so many times by girls. So next time you see a cute guy, don't wait for him to come up to you. Go up to him first and tell him, hey, love your shirt. I'd love to hang out sometime. And you got him. Trust me.
Let's be so for real. Sometimes that man is not trying to argue. Sometimes that man just wants to be heard. Sometimes that man wants to be appreciated when he comes home instead of bitched at for taking out the trash. Sometimes that guy wants to be recognized for all of the little things he does or even the big things that he does, and he doesn't want to be compared to Susie Q and her boyfriend down the street because you've been scrolling social media all fucking day and you want to compare relationships. Maybe that man is doing the best that he fucking can. Maybe he's going through his own mental health issues or his testosterone levels are dropping and he doesn't know what to do. And maybe his hair is falling out. And instead of you encouraging him and hyping him up, you want to just talk down to that man. And then you can't understand why your relationship is in the toilet. Oh, and better yet, you'll come on social media for validation from random strangers to tear down that man. I'm sorry, but if you come on the internet and you tear down your relationship and you let every single person on the internet know your business about your relationship, then you deserve to get cheated on. Not only do you deserve to get cheated on, you deserve to get divorced and never see that man ever again. Because why are you going to humiliate him and then expect to have a positive relationship? Like, somebody make it make sense. It's crazy how so many women come on here and they want to feel heard and they want to feel seen, but they never take the time to make their man feel heard or seen. Because if he, tells his feelings and he's too emotional, but then if he doesn't say his feelings, then, you're wondering why he doesn't talk to you anymore. He doesn't talk to you anymore because you throw it in his face. You make him feel bad about it. You bring it up every conversation. You look at him as less than anytime he tries to speak up because you don't think it's masculine to actually have feelings. When you say you want that man to open up and have feelings, you want him to open up and understand you because you're selfish. And let's be so for real. The amount of women that don't know how to be in relationships because they don't know how to communicate. And when they do communicate, it's passive aggressive. They give the silent treatment. They have built up resentment because they don't know how to communicate. And then the relationship fails and they turn around and call that man a narcissistic piece of shit that was love bombing. And let's not forget that love bombing is only a thing when the relationship doesn't work out, because when the relationship does work out, then he's courting her and all of the flowers, cards, the extra mile that he went to get her is acceptable. Let's be so for real. The biggest problem in relationships is women expecting this laundry list of expectations to be met, but it's unrealistic delusion that she should have sparks and butterflies all of the time in this fairy tale romance, but that's not reality. And in the interim, she's going to ignore that man. She's going to put that man down. She's going to make that man feel so small, but then she can't understand why he turns around and has an emotional affair with somebody at work. Or when he goes to be intimate, she decides to reject him every single time and then blames it on having a headache because she's, again, doesn't know how to communicate, and she's a selfish child that only wants her needs met but never figures out how to meet his needs. So tell me, how many men right now are sitting in silence because they don't know how to speak up in their relationships because when they used to speak up, they were torn down for it? Okay, bye.
I ain't never seen a man that I fucking need, bitch. You're all replaceable. Don't ever get too comfortable and don't ever think otherwise. You're a guest in this household and you can be kicked out just as quickly as you were welcomed in.
Imagine being that pretty just to ruin it the moment you open your mouth because you want to be entitled and shitty. Honey, we get it. Your daddy spoiled you. You were never told no, never held accountable. And now you think that you're better than everybody and this is what it is bred. We get it. We just point out the irony in the fact that when women go on the internet and say things like this, we're like in our boss bitch era, right? We're just so strong. But when a man does it, he's a misogynist, right? When men get on the internet like Andrew Tate and they're like, what do you bring to the table? Women are useless. You're just here to suck my dick. Men treat women like they're replaceable. It's because they're misogynistic cunts. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to look up to women like you? I'm supposed to allow my daughter on the internet so she can listen to women like you? Honey, you're gonna die alone. Or you're gonna marry a super rich man that's like out cheating on you every single weekend. Yeah, that's your future. Have fun.
Why men don't want to date women anymore. One bad pick for him can cost years for him. His reputation, his money, his sanity. 2, he's not guaranteed a woman that will actually take accountability. There's a lot of dating advice out there that makes men seem like the bad guy 24/7. That the woman can never do any wrong. And quite frankly, a lot of men are fed up with that. 3, a lot of men are sick of being a therapist rather than being her boyfriend or her husband or her partner. He's expected to do husband duties right off the bat, but she's not expected to do any wife duties right off the bat. Ladies, if he takes you out on a date, make him some muffins or cookies beforehand. He'll love it. 4, ghosting is often normalized. If a man says, oh, I was ghosted by a woman that I was dating, no one cares. People have no empathy for him or don't feel bad. That woman's never held accountable. It's like we tell men, oh, if you're not interested, you need to tell her. You need to talk to her. But that same exact energy is not given to men. Oh, she ghosted you? Well, what did you do? It's never, why can't women just send a quick text? 5, validation addiction. A lot of women just want validation from men. They keep them in the friend zone. They collect them like Pokemon cards, and they're not actually interested in dating him. So he ends up feeling used and taken advantage of when he didn't do anything to deserve that.
You know, these modern women really are on their worst behavior. The absolute worst. You can't do anything with them. And so a lot of men say, you know what? I think I'm just going to enjoy my peace. I'm really looking for a companion, but I think for this season of my life, I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to relax a little bit and do the stuff that I want to do for myself. Because a lot of these modern women out here are playing games.
I've seen men who don't follow any women on social media, and guess what happens? They still get cheated on. They still get treated like crap, and they don't have a lady that cooks for them. A woman that cooks is becoming more rare every single day, and a lot of men know this already. So no, him just unfollowing women doesn't fix everything. And most men who have followed through with that know it does nothing. If it were that easy, all men would be treated good and all women would cook, but that's not the reality, is it?
We got DoorDash SA girl, we got DoorDash pepper spray girl, but that was not enough DoorDash crime. We have the DoorDash seafood boil bandit.
Bro, I swear to fucking God, bro, DoorDash, count your fucking days.
This is a creator who goes by Lego Set, and in the rest of the video she describes how she's on her period, she's miserable, so she is going to DoorDash herself a whole ass seafood boil, and if you know, that is not cheap. Well, she says right off the jump she knew something was going to happen because of the DoorDasher's name, which I don't really know what she means by this, but the DoorDasher's name was Quayshonda, and sure as shit something did go wrong because this DoorDasher did not deliver the seafood boil. Nope, they stole that shit, but they took a picture of the empty bags outside of someone else's house. She still had to walk downstairs and even find the empty bags. They politely left her like one of the bottles of Sprite. So anyway, she posts this blows up, and immediately everyone is like, what city are you in? I'm gonna find every single Quayshawn in your city. And y'all, they did. They find this girl's TikTok, and wouldn't you know it, who has videos posted of the goddamn seafood boil? Quayshonda. Quayshonda did that. So what did the internet do? They bullied her into the shadow realm, dude. They were going back to videos she had posted years ago, leaving angry comments. So she deletes that TikTok. She makes a whole new one. They find that one too. She deletes that one. She makes a new one. They find the third one. People are so sick of this DoorDash buffoonery that they are following these criminals into every lifetime. So there's no legal justice this time, but DoorDash did ban Quayshonda, and she is constantly being bullied off the internet. The DoorDash PR team has to be loving this. Anyway, fun fact, shopping is like my least favorite chore in the world, but gonna do it. Gonna do it now.
I saw a female making content on here. She was talking about how she gave her number to a guy, and he was telling her, yo, I got laid off, but I'm actively looking, like I'm in the interview process. And you know what she said? She said, why the fuck you texted me? You want me to give you money? And then he blocked her. And then she said, this is why I'm single. I always mess with men's egos. No, you're fucking single because you have no type of empathy. You think that being feminine is you being a fucking bitch. When in actuality, being feminine has a lot to do with empathy. Nurturing empathy. He blocked you because he was like, fuck this bitch. And then the women in the comments proceed to, like, you know, support this type of bullshit. Talking about, I wish I was like you. I need to be more like you. As you should, queen. Yet they hate on the happily married woman. You follow into the footsteps of a single bitter lady, but you don't want to follow into the footsteps of somebody who's happily married or happily in a relationship. And it makes no fucking sense. Honestly. It makes no type of fucking sense.
Hey, babe.
Yeah.
I was thinking about having a snack.
Okay.
Like one of these muffins. Like a, I don't know.
Okay, baby. Like whatever. Have whatever you want.
I'm not sure if I want a blueberry one or one of the lemon ones.
I mean, I don't, like, have whichever one you want. I don't care. I don't.
Okay. I think I'll do the lemon today.
Okay.
You can't just give him a suggestion? Like, and I know something like this just seems small and insignificant. But if you're constantly brushing off your man in situations like this, it takes a toll on your relationship long term. He won't feel respected, he won't feel loved. Just overall, he won't feel like you care about him. It takes 2 seconds to just, oh, I think go with the lemon one, go with the blueberry, whatever. Part of me feels like it's probably not about the muffins. He just wanted to be around you for a moment. He just wanted your attention for a moment. And I get it, you're doing your routine. How hard is it to give your man a couple seconds or say something like, hey, I'm busy right now, can I get back to you in a few minutes? It's not hard to treat your person well.
Woman who comes online and intentionally humiliates you, harasses you, or wants to do a story time about her dating experience with you is already abusing you. Because any person who wants to come online and humiliate you or treat you like shit in front of everybody else is somebody that's going to be abusive to you. She is always criticizing you. She's putting you down. She's magnifying all of the little things you do and blowing it up and, tearing you down in the process and never praises you for anything that you do because she's hypercritical of you. She's already abusing you. No person that truly loves you or cares about you is going to criticize you to the point where they diminish your self-worth. That is abuse. Any woman that is intentionally bringing up things that happened 3 months ago, 6 months ago, you bring up one little thing that bothers you and she invalidates your feelings, and then she wants to bring up stuff from 6 months ago to confuse you and gaslight you. This is also a form of abuse, and you're already being abused if she's already doing this in the talking stages of a relationship. If she tries to compare you to any ex-boyfriend, oh, well, you know, my ex-boyfriend used to always get me cards, you know, flowers, candy, you know, plan all of the dates. What the fuck do you do? And you're sitting there like, well, you know, me and him are different people. She's already abusing you. Because why is she comparing you to other people and being verbally and emotionally harmful? My favorite one that you constantly see on here, even as marriage humor, any woman that tries to tease you, make fun of you, and basically, you know, put you down, but then she turns around and it's like, oh, I'm just kidding, it was just a joke, and she's basically being mean and disrespectful and disguising it as a joke. That's a form of abuse. All of these things that you guys ignore either in the beginning or at some point in your relationship, especially these women that get validated online by social media, just know that that is not a good woman. She's never going to turn around and change because the validation and the way that she feels about herself outweighs how good or outweighs how much she likes you or even cares about you, because she's always going to put herself first. Women are inherently abusive to men because y'all let them get away with it. If a woman is online talking shit about you, even before you call her your girlfriend, just know that that is not just a coincidence. That's who she is as a person, and you need to stop ignoring it. Okay, bye.
Do I believe men and women are the same? No, not even close. The way we act isn't the same. What we want isn't the same. The way we react to situations isn't the same. The way we expect to be loved isn't the same. And that's totally okay. And that's what makes our bond to each other so unique and so beautiful. If women and men can learn to love each other in the ways that they need to be loved, not in the way they want to love their partner or in the way they want to be loved, but in the way that they know their partner needs to be loved, I believe that so many more relationships would be successful because people would understand that, hey, maybe my partner is feeling this way because they don't like the way that I'm treating them right now. Maybe the way I'm reacting to something isn't the way they would react to something. So it gives you more understanding, it gives you more leeway, and it gives you more grounds to repair and heal with your partner because you're not always assuming the worst of them. Women and men are not the same, and that is not a bad thing. That's the amazing thing that makes us work together and makes us complete each other.
Womansplaining Men to Women, episode 128, I think. If there's one thing I've learned about men and women during the holidays, it is that women do not want their men home. If you're a dude and you take 2 weeks off work without telling your wife, you might as well just slap her right across the face, I guess, because they are not used to it. It just throws them right off. I've been seeing a lot of posts like this. My husband has been off work since the 24th and I haven't unalived him. Please clap for me. And these posts tend to be super relatable, with women agreeing that they do not want their husbands home this long. This woman actually feels a similar joy leaving the house because her husband is home all the time on long-term disability. And what's really interesting about this post is that when people ask if he's lazy or needs more work to do, you know, while he's on vacation, she actually says that he's not lazy and has done every chore she's asked of him. She just still doesn't want to be around him. And holy shit, ladies, this is a huge problem because I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but a man can't work forever, and neither can you. Eventually, you'll both have to retire, and when you do that, you'll have to live together and spend time together and grow into old age together, and you'll have to do that without committing spousal homicide. In fact, these will be the years you need each other most to survive. So this is your trial by fire. This is how you learn to do just that. There's a scene in Bruce Almighty, it might have been Evan Almighty, where God says that if you pray for patience, he doesn't give you patience. He gives you an opportunity to be patient. You are never going to be just handed a person who never annoys you and knows everything you want. But surely what you do know is why you married this person, right? So why did we forget that just because you took a couple weeks off? Listen, of course this is going to be a change to your routine and might throw you off a little bit, but I am begging you to try and see how special this is to him and your kids if you have them, and try not to focus on what could go wrong or how he could mess things up. He's been looking forward to this time with you and to be at home and not working for so long. And I'm going to say something else that you don't want to hear. He's also been looking forward to doing nothing. He really just wants to use some of his vacation time for nothing. In fact, everyone deserves some time for nothing. Look, you married him for him, right? Not for the time that he's gone. And it would just mean the world to him if you made him feel that way.
Yo, some women get on my fucking nerve. Like, they're over here fucking turning 40, telling me that, oh, I can't find a good man. I can't find a good man. And then they fucking talk to someone and they just stop talking to them. And I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? Oh, well, I asked him what he was doing and he told me he was eating chicken wings. Okay, and that was it. He was eating fucking chicken wings. You fucking stopped talking to him because he was eating fucking chicken wings? No, he should have, like, ate something healthier. Like, I want my guy to eat something healthy. The guy fucking wants chicken wings. You just stopped talking to a guy for eating fucking chicken wings. That's why you fucking 40 and single. Like, what do you mean they ain't good guys? He's not a good guy because he eats fucking chicken wings? Get the fuck out of here.
They don't really understand how stupid they sound. In their minds, and because they get validated by women on the internet, they think what they're saying makes sense. And they take this stupidity into real life conversations with men. Like, who's she talking to? Man, shut up. Be quiet, man. That's dumb. Oh, well, my standard. Shut up, man. That's stupid. that's stupid talk. Be quiet, man. No, nobody want to hear that. If a man were to talk to you like that, you'd be upset and you'd call him rude. But you come to that man with stupid conversation. You come to that man with stupid talking points. What that man's supposed to sit there and do? Be there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours listening to you talk about stupidity and then got to pay $150 for the bill? Yeah, this is a clown show.
If I plan all the dates that me and my man go on, and I plan all the trips, and I plan our future, and I plan everything that we have going on, and all he has to do is hand me some money or hand his car to me, what has he done as a leader? Because in a relationship,
let's be so for real. This is a perfect example of why so many women's resentment build towards their man. Because what do you mean him paying your bills and providing you stability? Yeah, stability to be able to go to Ulta and Sephora and go on your trips and have the ability to just sit back and plan. Imagine being mad at having to plan a vacation. Imagine having like the audacity and the entitlement to actually think that your partner or your husband, your boyfriend is doing a bad job because they're giving you the stability and they're the anchor in your life that allows you to do everything like around you, and that everything around you coexists because that man is providing. But you can't even see that because you're too busy in this me mentality and like, oh, he doesn't do enough, because you're so hyper focused on everything that you feel he's doing wrong rather than the 100 things that he's doing right. But not only that, let's put this into perspective. Let's just say for a moment, he takes on the planning. He does everything. Guess what? If he doesn't plan it to the exact time, place, everything down to the last detail, a lot of y'all will still be bitching. It's similar to how a man will help with laundry, and because he doesn't fold the towels the right way, y'all are still bitching. Which is why a lot of men give up planning altogether, because you guys can't give up your OCD and your perfectionism to let that man lead. It really goes back to, like, if you want a man to lead, you actually have to listen. And let's just put this into perspective. Let's just say on the off chance that man starts providing, planning, doing all the dates, doing all the vacations, doing everything, then what the fuck are you doing? Other than getting on the internet, complaining about what he's not doing, and making like a tally check mark. Like, imagine being in a relationship and your first thought is to basically make a checklist of all the things that he's not doing because you're unhappy. Last time I checked, a man that provides is one that provides stability, which gives you peace of mind to even be able to sit there and complain about having to plan something. And let's be so for real, this kind of mentality is exactly what's keeping women single, what's keeping them angry, what's keeping them bitter, because they are only doing things in relationships to get something in return, and they're only doing it with this expectation that men should be doing more, while they simultaneously give less and less. And it is like the number one reason that men are completely checked out. They don't want to deal with this bullshit because in their minds, if they're giving 120% and you're still going to bitch about having to plan a vacation, oh my God, the horror to have to plan a vacation. Like, no wonder they want nothing to do with your ass. Okay, bye.
Why she's standing there like she just gave out the epiphany of 2026. Like, ma'am, you're confusing risk assessment with like gender astrology and you look dumb. The reality, most men actually aren't afraid of other men because they know that most men aren't monsters out here trying to molest children. However, if men were to be afraid of leaving their children with a female caregiver, they would be all in their rights to do so, considering women take up the majority of the cases of child abuse, neglect, and murder. I don't know if you've like Googled recently, maybe most feminists actually are allergic to Google and straight facts and statistics, but if you weren't allergic to it, you would find out how many cases literally daily come out of female caregivers at daycares and day homes abusing children. To mention, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but hiring a female babysitter when you have a son, not a so hot idea, because if you talk to any men in your real life, you would realize how many of them actually lost their virginity to an older babysitter. Older, I'm talking these guys are like 7, 8, 9 years old losing it to a 16, 17, 18-year-old. I mean, that's disgusting. It's predatory. You guys don't want to assess that, right? You want a babysitter to show up at your door and be like, oh, it's a woman. All risk of crimes are disabled. That's why our little boys are not safe in society, because we're not actually looking at facts and statistics and using them to protect our children. We're just automatically labeling somebody as safe because they have a vagina and somebody else as a potential walking felon because they have a dick.
If a man is complaining about spending money on you, he just doesn't like you.
If a woman doesn't spend money on you, she just doesn't like you. See how stupid that sounds? But I feel like when we reverse it, it sounds normal because there's so many women making videos having the weirdest requirements for men. Sounds so entitled. We work and make our own money and we're supposed to make him pay for everything too? That doesn't make any sense.
Things I truly want about men, number 349, men. What is something that instantly makes you lose interest?
Emotional volatility, feeling like he's constantly walking on eggshells. If you're constantly getting mad or upset and he has to manage that, you need to be managing yourself. Random coldness and then intensity later. Again, eggshells. Men don't want eggshells, especially in their food when you cook for them. Making him responsible for your feelings. He needs his peace, and when you do these things, you're taking away his peace, so don't do that.
What separates me as a misandrist from feminists is that my hot take is that you cannot cheat on men. It's not possible. Like, that doesn't exist. Cheating on men does not exist. Men cheat women out of joy and opportunity every single day of their lives, like it's their job. They are conditioned from birth, and they have been conditioned for generations, like centuries and centuries, millennia. So there's no such thing as cheating on men. Say you're in a hetero relationship with a male, you can do whatever you want. It's not called cheating. It's not called cheating. You are barely even leveling the playing field. You are just fine. I want you to feel zero guilt because men aren't even capable of feeling guilt for like a shred of the shit that they do to us. So yeah, hot take it or leave it. Don't care. It's the truth.
Hey, so that's crazy and unhinged. I feel like I don't even have to explain why. Like, I'm well aware that this is your standard run-of-the-mill fatherless rage bait, but just for fun, let's do a little comparative analysis to see what happens when we hold up a mirror. You say that women can cheat on men, and it's fine, because men cause women emotional pain every day. Great. I would like to introduce another proposition. When a man completely takes a child away from their mother, it's not kidnapping, because every day in the United States alone, a mother commits infanticide. And obviously men can cheat on women too, because every single day women also commit assault and DV. And a man is totally allowed to take any possessions or sovereignty that a woman owns, because women are actually overrepresented in theft and shoplifting. Now, I don't actually believe any of that because I'm not a terrible person, but these are all things that would be intellectually consistent with your worldview, which is very embarrassing for you. You should be embarrassed. Okay, so you know how lately we've been seeing a lot of stuff like this? If your boyfriend or husband was on this flight, just so you know, he deleted his dating apps, text messages, and search history, and then we all go nuts, and we all work together as a collective to find and abscond this dirty, damned cheater. But what if They're full of crap. After that video that I showed you was posted, this Threads user actually looked up that woman's flight information and looked at the entire plane and seating map to completely debunk her story and proved that it never could have happened. He actually wasn't even the only one to look up her plane information and find the discrepancies, which is your reminder that there are far too many autistic people in this world to go lying about planes, trains, or automobiles, but I digress. I just wish there was something we could do about these things. You can't just go recording people and then lying about them. I thought DoorDash Girl was a great example of that. I think people who make public false accusations about other people should be put on like a list or a database. I think if girls have "are we dating the same guy," guys should absolutely get to have "is the same girl lying about us." We've got to stop endorsing this self-indulgent, attention desperate behavior. People who lie about stuff like this don't deserve to be believed about anything. It's hurting everybody because all of this crying wolf is making it so that we get ignored when we are actually trying to get people's attention about wolves. Anyway, thank you to airplane nerds for your service. Keep calling these losers out.
Things that should be illegal, dating edition. Girls paying on the first date. If I wanted to pay for some random man's meal, then I would go outside and find a homeless man and give him some food. Why would I choose you?
Well, then I guess it's very easy for you to understand why a man wouldn't want to pay for a random woman's meal. When instead, that man could pay for his mom's meal, or his sister's meal, or his aunt's meal, or his grandma's meal. I'll tell you one thing I know about men, though. He will absolutely pay for that first meal when he has been getting to know somebody, and she actually seems interested in him, and she's putting forth effort already, even before meeting in person. And most importantly, he doesn't sense any sort of attitude from her. She's not giving him a list of hard set rules that he has to follow or he doesn't deserve her. But if it's some random girl that has said maybe 3 words to him on a dating site and she's already being a little bit hard to please just in the selection of where they're going to meet up or when they're going to meet up, that is a red flag that she is entitled, and that is one random woman that man is not going to want to get to know.
And he shouldn't, because once again, you're wasting your time, energy, money, resources, spending your mental health, your emotional health, all of that behind a woman that acts like a loser. You shouldn't want to be around that. Really, honestly, truly, at all. Don't do it. Protect your peace. If she's going to act stupid, get up and walk out.